Hello kids. Welcome to another exciting lesson. Have you ever thought about what makes life on Earth so special? Apart from food, two magical elements keep us alive: air and water. Welcome to the official YouTube channel of exactcampus.com, and today, we'll dive into these lifelines of Earth, air and water, and discover their wonders. Are you ready? Let's go. Air is all around us, forming an invisible blanket called the atmosphere. This blanket not only helps us breathe but also protects our planet. Now, let's break it down. What's in the air? Did you know air is not just one gas but a mixture of several gases? Here's what makes up air. Nitrogen, around 78% of air. Nitrogen is the most abundant gas in the atmosphere. Nitrogen is crucial for plant growth. However, most plants can't use nitrogen directly from the air. Plants like peas and beans convert nitrogen from the atmosphere into a usable form through their roots. Other plants absorb nitrogen from fertilizers. Nitrogen also plays a role in food preservation and is used in its liquid form to freeze items in laboratories and storage units. Oxygen, which is around 21% of air, makes life on Earth possible. We breathe in oxygen to produce energy in our bodies, and it's also essential for burning. Here's a fun activity. Light a candle and cover it with a glass. Watch as the flame goes out because it runs out of oxygen. But don't try this alone, ask an adult to help. While oxygen supports burning, nitrogen controls burning. Has there been no nitrogen in the atmosphere, we would not have been able to control fire. Carbon dioxide is a vital gas that plants use to prepare their food through a process called photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, plants absorb carbon dioxide from the air and, with the help of sunlight and water, convert it into oxygen and glucose. This process not only provides oxygen for us to breathe but also sustains the plant's growth. Without carbon dioxide, plants could not perform photosynthesis, making this gas essential for life on Earth. It also traps heat from the sun, keeping Earth warm. But too much of it, from burning fuels, can make Earth too hot, a problem called global warming. Water vapor. Water in its gaseous form, called water vapor, forms clouds and contributes to rainfall. It also helps trap the sun's heat, maintaining a stable temperature on Earth. Other gases, argon, methane, nitrous oxide, and sulfur dioxide are present in smaller amounts. These gases, along with dust and smoke, complete the composition of air. All of the gases together, they create the perfect mix for life. Now, let us see the importance of the atmosphere. The atmosphere acts as Earth's protective shield. It provides oxygen to breathe and carbon dioxide for plants. It traps heat, keeping the Earth warm. It blocks harmful ultraviolet rays through the ozone layer, which acts like Earth's sunscreen. It creates weather, including wind, rain, and storms. The atmosphere is divided. Troposphere. This is the closest layer to Earth. This is where we live, and where weather changes occur. It contains 80% of the atmosphere's mass. It extends 10 to 15 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. Stratosphere. The stratosphere is also known as the ozone layer because of the presence of a gas called ozone. The stratosphere is a nearly 35-kilometer thick layer above the troposphere. Ozone acts like a shield and protects us from harmful ultraviolet rays, UV rays, by absorbing them. UV radiation can cause sunburns, irritation of eyes and skin cancer. Mesosphere. The layer above the stratosphere is mesosphere. It extends nearly 35 kilometers above the stratosphere. It is the coolest layer, where meteors burn up, creating shooting stars. It contains very little quantity of oxygen, ozone and water vapor. Thermosphere. The thermosphere is the layer above the stratosphere. It is about 450 to 900 kilometers in thickness. Space shuttles orbit here. Exosphere. This is the outermost layer, merging with space. Most satellites orbit in this region. So far we have learned about components of air, importance of atmosphere and layers of atmosphere. Now let us see some properties of air. Air has mass and occupies space. To understand this, do a quick experiment. Fill a balloon, and you'll see it expand, proving air occupies space. Air exerts pressure. A rubber suction cups stick to surfaces because of the air pressure. Air is essential for life. It provides oxygen for breathing and carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Now, let's talk about water. It covers 70% of Earth, however, less than 1% is available as fresh water in rivers, lakes, and streams that we can drink. Water is essential for every living thing. Let's explore its properties. Water is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. It's simple but so powerful. Water exists in all three states on Earth. Liquid as rivers, solid as ice, and gas as steam and vapor. Water is universal solvent. It dissolves many things, like sugar and salt. That's why it's called the universal solvent. Substance such as sugar and salt that dissolve completely in water are called soluble substances. Substance such as sand and wood that do not dissolve in water are called insoluble substances. Clean water is crucial for good health, so it is important we use and consume clean water. Some common impurities found in water are soil, remains of dead plants and animals, and wastes from houses and industries. Some of them are soluble and some are insoluble. Both these impurities must be removed from water before we use it. Water must be clean before we use it. Let's see how can we purify or remove the impurities from water to clean it. Removing insoluble impurities. In general, insoluble impurities are removed from water by sedimentation and decantation, and filtration process. Insoluble impurities settle at the bottom of a container, called sedimentation. The clean water is poured out without disturbing the sediments, called decantation. This is good process for removing visible insoluble impurities. Filtration is the process where water passes through filters to remove impurities. We can remove certain soluble impurities and kill germs present in water by boiling and chlorination. Boiling of water kills germs and converts some soluble impurities into insoluble ones. The insoluble impurities can be removed by filtration process. Chlorination is the process of adding chlorine to water in small quantities to kill germs, making it safe to drink. The water that came to our house for drinking by municipality is generally treated by these process. The simplest way to make drinking water safe is to filter and boil the water. However, nowadays, we have some advanced purification methods that we can use at home. Reverse osmosis, RO, removes salts and chemicals. Ultraviolet, UV, purifiers, kills harmful microorganisms using UV rays. Distilled water is the purest form of water. It is generally used in laboratories and batteries. To obtain distilled water, water is allowed to boil, it changes into water vapor, the vapors are collected and condensed in another container to obtain the distilled water. This process is called distillation. The dew drops seen on leaves of plants and grass in early morning are the example of natural distilled water. This brings us to the end of this video. Today, we learned that air and water are essential for life. Air gives us oxygen to breathe, while water quenches our thirst. Both are precious, and we must protect them by reducing pollution and conserving resources. Let's take care of our planet together. For more insights and educational content like this, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and visit our website at exactcampus.com. See you in the next video. Until then, stay safe, keep learning and exploring. Take care.